What's up, Big Scott? I think Dan may be muted and he doesn't know it.
You were correct. Brad, I was yelling at you for 5 minutes. You wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise. Scott either. No, Scott, thank you for the introduction. This is our first Q&A of the open house. And of course, as Scott said, very important because this is the last day until midnight for you to sign up and get your full 5 business days of trade ideas full blast for $8.88. As Scott mentioned, we're going to go over all of that. The first thing we start every Q&A is gratitude to you guys for taking your time and spending it with us. We have a lot to tell you and very important information that we believe will impact your wealth. That's what we're about. We're about helping people gain access to wealth. So before we start on that, I'm going to quickly do our disclaimer. Trade Ideas is not a registered investment advisor. All the information you're going to hear from myself, Brad, Barry, Scott, or anyone else is just for informational and educational purposes only and should not be construed as any kind of solicitation to buy or sell securities. If you want to have specific advice, please consult a registered investment advisor, which Trade Ideas is not. Brad, do you feel I got that out of the way?
I feel like that's second nature to you. You could do that without that slide right there.
Oh, I did. I was looking somewhere else, but I'm saying I kind of feel like I got all of our disclaimers out. Guys, Scott, can I tell you something? Thank you for having Rudy on board who makes our clock tick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to help you. This is your time clock until the time is up to sign up for the test drive. This is your link, Trade Ideas /test drive. Brad, right? It's like we work for a different company or something. Like,
I
what's
know.
going on there?
Professionalism has been added.
I know. I'm like, Scott, I'm smiling. You know, everything looks good. I love it. And just so that everyone knows, this is by far the biggest test drive we've ever had. And many, many things are happening that I'm going to discuss with you. Of course, this has been a theme. Trade Ideas is in the business of freeing people from the 9 to 5. You free yourself by the 9 to 5 by taking a shower in what we call alpha. Brad, what's alpha? He probably has his mic off, so I'll let him know.
No, my mic is on. Alpha is straight out profit from the market, baby.
But okay, but let's be a little bit more specific for the new users because there's something about alpha that's different than just the market gain. Alpha is what you would make over the market. This is a very important distinction, Brad, and I want to make sure you understand why it's important because it has communism in its sights. When everybody is in the same thing, like for example, it's easy to become complacent when the market is going up, and one of our business guys, Sean McLaughlin, has a really cute hashtag, you know, it's a bull market, you know, and this is common, and of course, we use sarcasm and allegory and and all sorts of literary methods to convey information. But at the same time, and we'll have a slide for here, Sean happens to be the author of the book, What Happens Beyond the BTFD Market. Very important thing to know. So when the market is going up, it seems like everybody is just winning. But this is a facade because winning really is not relative to just you, right? It's relative to the market. In other words, if the S&P made 10%, now everybody made 10%. Brad, it's kind of an interesting philosophical thing to discuss because, well, if everybody made 10%, did anyone really make anything?
No, then you need to make 10% just to get ahead, right?
Well, that's the thing that most people do not understand about returns. It's not just about a percentage, it's about the percentage over what everyone else is making. In other words, alpha. See those dollar signs raining on that umbrella. I don't know why in that picture the dude's naked. You know, sometimes you just don't know where you get your images. But the bottom line is simple. We help people get out of the prison of the 9 to 5. The prison of the 9 to 5 is when you're working for other people, when you're using your time ineffectively. When you use Trade Ideas, you can capture alpha, which is a return above and beyond. Okay, so I've done this presentation before, and the slides are going to go quick, but I want to just simply point out, and I'm going to point some other ones out today in real life, but for those of you that are in the test drive, the whole notion here is about getting into the stocks that move and move big. In order to do that, you have to do trial and error. Much like blackjack, it favors those, Brad, who have what?
That have capital.
Who have a little bit more money. We're the only ones to tell you guys the truth. Many people in finance and in trading and investing want to lure you with the promise of fast returns and easy money. Hey, you got $1,000? Come on. I got to tell you guys, that's just not the truth of the matter. The more you have, the better your odds, because, Brad, as we said, it's a trial and error concept. You got to try a little bit to find the GBR. And Brad, how much did I can't even speak. How much did GBR go here in this picture?
Yeah, on that day, about a month ago, not quite a month ago, that thing was up 120% at that point.
And the entry was about 20 minutes after the market. So I just want everyone to perceive it. The entry was 20 minutes after the market. Once you got in, it kind of went, as you can see here, and then it got you out at 113% in risk off mode. So there's two modes that we do for trade ideas. They're risk on and risk off. And these modes are to help you understand if volatility, which is the waves of supply and demand cruising through the market, if those waves of volatility are paying you or are they paying the casino? Brad, is that a good way to describe it maybe?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it.
When it's risk off, that means the water is choppy. If you were a water skier or surfer, if you were a golfer, you would maybe think or understand that there's wind in play. That means it's not going to be as easy for you. You have to be more conservative, more factors for you to analyze, for you to flow through the trade. That's what risk off means. Risk on means, hey guys, it's smooth sailing. The wind is at your back. Risk on. Do it. You're going to get paid for it. And that is what it looks like. Those are the two things. And I want to make sure that we understand that this is part of what you have to learn as the comms, the lingo of trade ideas. Just understanding it's, you know, the environment. Is it cold or is it hot? Stuff like that. I want to, while we're in the Q&A, I also want to mention to everyone that Barry Anderson runs our trading room, which is showcasing all the AI openly. Usually he doesn't show the AI because that's a premium product. And many people are in there interacting with our community, interacting with Barry, getting an understanding of, Brad, it's like a televised, like a Madden channel version of trade ideas. So Barry,
yeah, I mean, it's really kind of real world, you know, using our software and how to use it in the real world and find opportunities.
Barry does fantastic programming. I love it. And he helps people get acquainted with technology in a calm, professional, risk-averse way where you can see everybody who's in the room is really doing it, which is, again, by the way, the break from the 9 to 5, getting yourself out of prison. So GBR on this trade, and these are the 3 AI channels that we have, and I'm showing you the people from the test drive. I'm showing you that this stuff happens not just today, it happens almost every day. So I'm going to go real quick. Here's another one where we were going on the downside. This is and notice these P&Ls, by the way, very strong. So each one on the left side in the channel, you see the number of trades and the overall P&L and how that P&L curve was shaped all throughout the day. So you can visualize your own volatility. Once again, who gets to play more? Those with more money can try more of the AI trades. It's that simple. Something I will repeat over and over. But, and we said it at the beginning, if you only go one way, you are very limited in the stock market. The stock market is the best place to allocate risk because entry and exit is almost costless. They are fast, and you can profit from other people's poor decisions. I don't know really too many other places where other people can do it, Brad. It's like the only good thing of the evil empire, right? In real estate, it's always the banks. It's always the banks and the big money boys that come in and scoop up. But in the stock market, at least, the informed speculator has an option that most others don't have anywhere else. So here we take advantage of those options mathematically, and the idea is you don't have to think too much about it. Trust the AI, because it's not only guessing better, but all of your levels are visualized.
It's like a mentorship program, really.
It is. It's your mentor, it's your leader, it's your life coach, it's a trading coach. But Brad, so that our guests can see, what are the red lines, the blue lines, and the green lines in the CRC chart up above, so that everyone understands what I'm saying by the fact that trust the AI. You have
so these are the type of breadcrumbs that we leave on the charts that are generated from the AI signals. So these AI signals are generated, but at the time that they're generated, we're putting some roadmaps, if you will, on these charts that let you know where is the stop, where is the entry of that particular signal, what is your expectation from a profit target. So we give you that in real time so you can have a visual as well as seeing the actual signal being generated.
And every single stock you're going to see, whether it's from the AI or something else, and that's what we're going to demonstrate with the software, has this roadmap infographic, the breadcrumbs, as Brad said, for you. Because we want you to be empowered to make decisions without fear. Once you get rid of your fear because you know you've got the tactical commando help, you are more in that mental state called the zone. And we are all about the psychology of trading, which, Brad, by the way, that brings us to, if I may digress, we are going to have an event in San Diego, and maybe at the very end, Scott can just speak about it a little bit. But the reason I'm bringing it up, we do an annual event, and we theme it differently every time. And this time, it's going to be the psychology of investing with artificial intelligence, talking about all the built-in psychological advantages that we give our subscribers, our clients, our friends when they use our technology. And there's many of them. So taking advantage of the other direction, very important. We do that for you with trade ideas so that you don't have to think about it. The more you think, the worse you do. Love this slide. I've said this every time I've seen this slide. And today has, by the way, some of this action too that I'm going to discuss. But the big question people ask us is, well, guys, sure, you're gunslinging day traders from the wild, wild west, hitting bids, taking offers, doing all this fancy gaming stuff. That's not for me. I'm in my 50s. I don't want to do that. How do I do this stuff? How do I participate but not be stuck in a computer screen with with real Mr. Pibb? Monster Energy. I'm sorry. I'm Googling this as I'm doing.
Right.
I've never done this before. With Monster Energy, and you guys get the drift. None of us want to do that. At least at my age. I'm past that. Brad, are you past that?
I'm past it. Absolutely.
We're not as young as we look in pictures. So because of that, look at the buy signals on the chart. More breadcrumbs. Every single time the artificial intelligence gets into a trade, we show it to you on a chart. And what we try to show you is that the AI is continuously looking to learn from the data it's acquiring, the inputs that are being put in. And here I highlighted the different times it told us to get into the stock. And what's really important, and what's really, really important is that after every trade, Brad, what's the dotted line there?
I just got distracted. After every trade, the dotted line, what are you pointing to?
Right here, my friend.
There we go. Yeah, it's just more of our annotations that we put on the chart. So on the chart, whether it's an AI signal or not, we're still putting some information that's really, really relevant. In this case here, it's a swing exit. So we're taking a look at that stock and how it typically trades and what's the volatility, where has it been, and we're giving you a reasonable risk if you're going to want to hold this position for an extended period of time. And we're also on the intraday chart, if it was a non-AI signal, we're giving you a smart stop, which again is another calculation based on how that stock is trading, what kind of volume is it doing, and volatility. And again, it's just more data points. It's very specific to what's going on with that security right now.
And by the way, if you're following all the arrows kind of point to what's going on. We're saying we're not a one-hit wonder. We're learning how to do this. That dotted line appears every single time you make the trade. And so the idea is that on the first buyout, you might have been stopped out, which by the way is okay, because as we said before, as long as you're stopped out with the proper mathematical loss where it's not big, and that's what we do with the dotted line, even on the swing time frame, you're still going to do great. The next buy signal in this at 4.2, you would have never gotten out. You, in theory, if you're playing it the blackjack way, you would have added on the next one, added on the next one, and then added on the next one. Then again, the beauty of what I was trying to show in this piece is that 6.11% out of 7.71. That's what our AI what our AI caught in this trade. And Brad, I don't know what you can say about that, except for GBR caught 120, which we also caught on the slide before. But look at these percentages, guys. Remember that when you look at the SPY and you're looking at things that you are told about finance, number one, you're told to buy and hold and don't look at anything. It's a good company. It'll come, whatever you're told. It's all bullshit. But you're here, and we're grateful that you're here because you can see it for yourself. Look at real percentages that are hidden from people because they don't want you to explore. This is what we are about. We're about data exploration and showing people how it's really different when you see things the way they truly are versus the way they tell you. More here. This was just, I think I was just going through the fact that it was continuing. Here's a 20% move in PED. You know, and different prices, different stocks. It's not low or high. Here's CBIO. I mean, notice again, we're trying to get you into something that maybe you might not even have to get out of again. That's the whole point too, is that the ultimate form of wealth is Bill Gates isn't day trading, you know, Microsoft, he's writing it. If you can get into a position where you can write it, that's the different story. That's the part that they don't tell you about buy and hold. You know, they don't talk to you about the fact that you ultimately are stuck in something if it's negative. You know, that's what they do not say. Well, you don't want to be stuck in something. That's the whole point about repositioning. And we know, we're very certain that the tax structure is moving much more towards that situation because things are already in motion. So be prepared to be more active. Okay, so we're going to kind of going through the slides before Brad and I get into the actual program. And this is reiterating the fact that Barry runs the trading room. This is the link to get into it, and can't thank Barry enough to do that. So before I come back, please hold on a second. I'm going to switch to the software. Are you guys ready to rock and roll? Brad, can you see my screen?
Yep, your screen has been changed.
Okay, awesome. So some of you may or may have not heard Brad and I discuss some big social media companies before, but great lesson is to be able to watch your data in a way that's easy for you to watch. Notice that we have channels here. Brad, what channel am I on?
You are on the After Hours channel.
And what's happening to Facebook After Hours?
Ouch. They just had earnings, and it doesn't look like it was great.
Was it earnings? I thought it was something. Well, maybe it was. You know, honestly, I don't even know. But crush and destruction. The beginning of. But we talked about this for a long time. You know, we talked about the fact that you don't want to emotionally commit to something unless you have a game plan in play. And notice our lines. This is, if you are in it here, this is your exit for swing, and you're very close to it, Brad. Isn't that an interesting, like, kind of roadmap? So I want everyone to kind of take back and take a look at your Facebook here, okay? So because this after hours debacle, which you're not seeing here, and it's good to see it both ways. By the way, Brad, we should do some sort of something for after hours.
Yeah, we can actually change that, and I need to. You can right click on it, and you should be able to include pre and post market. Go ahead and check that one right there.
Dang, Brad, we're so good. I don't even know how to use our own software.
And if you look down at the earnings date on the single stock window, you're going to see that it was reported after hours today, indicative of the 0.75, right? I need to put it on the chart so that, again, it'll be easier.
We're going to do that too. We're going to do it. Brad, you're so good. That's why we have you here. So anyways, it was earnings, correct. And I believe it had a big thing to do with free cash flow and all sorts of other stuff, but they're getting hammered. The point is, if you are still long, let's say it closed at 217 or wherever the close was, Brad, you with me?
I'm with you.
It closed here. The swing exit, we are saying, for those that are attempting to hang on for the long term, is at 92.57 based on the close before earnings. And here is where you are now, 95.48. So you are really, really close to getting stopped out of your long-term Facebook position for the people who are newly initiated.
Well, and another way to look at it, there's a lot of different ways you can use this data, but you could look at it as to if you were getting in that position today, midday, you could look at the volatility required to hold this thing is that, wow, it's really possible that this support level at 192 may get tested. So it's information for you to be aware of in making your trading decisions along the way, not just to know to get out at some certain point, but just to give you an idea of how volatile is this particular stock going to be.
It's pretty volatile, and I'm telling you guys.
See on the daily chart, even though we're not populating the candle with this after hours data, you can see that lime green
right here. We're at right here, just not right here.
Right, but that lime green data point on the right-hand margin of the daily chart is telling you where that stock currently is right now.
That's right.
Over on the daily chart.
Right here.
Yep.
92. We just did it. It's over. We just broke through the swing exit. You guys see that? Love seeing it all in real time, by the way.
Well, unless you're long Facebook, right?
Unless you're long Facebook. Oh, boy. Well, also, can I just say something else? For those of you that have been going to the Q&As and have been following our podcast, Brad, have we not been talking about this for a very long time?
Well, it's just something you need to be mindful of.
Yeah. We usually help people that are paying attention. We've said this before. We want to help investors do better. And timing is tricky because you have to play with the rules. In other words, you can be right and the market still gets you out because there's this saying that says the market will be irrational longer than you can stay solvent. That's the God's honest truth, which is why we at Trade Ideas created the roadmaps, the systems-based approach to investing instead of the goal-based approach. We're not going for the money, we're going for the beauty.
Yeah, and you don't need to get married to any positions when you use Trade Ideas, because Trade Ideas is always seeking and hunting out new opportunities for you to put your capital in.
Oh, no question. No question at all. And again, here, the only thing that was fantastic to showcase is that, number one, you see these levels, you see it going through it. So you can see here that that's the danger, right? You broke through, and watch what happened. You were here, look how many days it took. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days. And that was annihilated in a minute.
And not only that, look at the the head fake, the notion that this thing is breaking. It like gets you every time almost. It's breaking out to all-time highs, looking really strong, and boom.
Again, I do not feel happy that this is happening for the people that are long, but for the people that got a chance to be short, and when we've been talking about this, congratulations, thank you for listening and for paying attention. This is what we do Trade Ideas for. Back to our regularly scheduled program, what you got here is the channel bar, and the reason we're watching this incredible movie of Facebook, Brad, is because we are on the After Hours channel. So when the market's over, tomorrow morning, when you get up in the morning, you would be completely fine to turn on the, what channel, Brad?
You're going to turn on the pre-market, and there's a really, really, really good chance that you're probably going to see Facebook on there as one of the down gappers.
Most likely.
Most likely. Never a guarantee.
You never know. But the point here is, notice once again, it's easy. Here's a whole channel designed for your pre-market. Once the stock market opens, you can kind of channel surf. We have lots of things for you. A really cool one is called social media, which highlights the fact that Trade Ideas data works in a way where we not only look at the regular stock market data, but of course we're also looking at the unstructured social data. So we're tracking all of that. We combine that and create our own metrics out of it, metrics that then the AI uses and you guys get to use to profit from all of this information. Once again, a couple of things I want you to notice. Remember I said not a one-trick phone, not a one-trick phony, Brad, I said. Pony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And look at what's going on right now. I mean, if I can't, if this one picture of our ETA, Brad, does not convey the fact that we are in the long-term game business, we're in the ride business. In fact, we're in the business that if you follow this strategy on a kind of hedge fund position, you would get in, and when there's other signals above your signals, Brad, what do? You add. And here you are now getting congratulations to all the golf clubs that are sending you memberships.
If you're into that sort of thing.
If you're into the golf club sort of thing. David, absolutely. So let's talk about this. See these data points, stock twits, relative activity. We do so much with data, guys. Not only do we just take it, but of course we analyze it, right? And we don't just compare it the way everybody else does it. We put the Trade Ideas magic onto it. So we do the relativity. It's not just how it's trading, it's how it's trading compared to everybody else and itself. We do the good math so that you don't have to do it. And as you probably kind of guessed, or maybe not, I'm not doing anything right now, but yet the software is helping me invest by showing me through automatic idea surfing what all the stocks are doing. One of the big problems we have as humans is making a decision. You guys all know that. Honey, what do you want to eat? I don't know. I don't know. We don't like that because, well, the truth of it is we would know how to do it, but we were not taught to do that from an early age. Here, we're changing that by, without you having to make a choice, you get to view different setups in the marked way. Notice you see the swing exit, the stops, the profit targets. Your eyes are learning how to do this without your brain trying to figure it out. It's the most eloquent, beautiful way to do anything. Back to what we said in our topic, the zone. In the zone, whether you're Kelly Slater, Tiger Woods, Wayne Gretzky, or whoever you are, when you are just destroying the competition, Steph Curry, you're not thinking. You are in pure performance mode. In fact, you could kick it in and it would go in. Doesn't matter what you're doing. It's going in. That's the kind of zone you're in. And this is what we incorporated in what you're seeing. Okay, you're just going through setups and your brain is figuring things out without you needing to do anything. We split up the pack for you. Hey, Brad, nice call there on CADE, Brad. Good swing trade. Nice one, I liked it. We break things up thematically, meaning if you want to look at the banks, we got the banks. Do you want to look at alpha predator? Remember, we taught what that is today, the stocks that are really going. There's a channel for that.
It's kind of like a Tiptronic, right? You get the ability to go manual and to choose what you want to do, what you want to look at, or you can throw it in automatic and let it drive for you. And that's where we brought in the AI. And I know you haven't gotten there yet, but we're providing these different ways from which you can drive.
It's coming, Brad. You know, it's a happening.
I know it's coming.
So we're surfing these ideas, but I want to make sure people know that it's not just only surfing, other things you can do. Remember, this is not just any software. This is a one-of-a-kind miracle of technology. You come around, we've incorporated everything you do in a social network, but we actually make it work. So here you've got your hearts, and now you've got a channel that you can go to where you're following all your hearts around. Here's where all your hearts are doing. These are hearts, meaning these are all the stocks that I was interested in, that I've been selecting for whatever reason. Here's what they're doing. Good selection on that one. Nice selection here. We're seeing what the good ones are. I'm sure I have some terrible selections as well. Brad, what? Oh, no. Must have, I don't know why that's there. Oh, Brad, why'd you make me pick that one? You see, guys, when you're the CEO and you work with the COO, it's very easy to find someone to blame. Brad?
Thank you. Thank you.
Terrible idea on RXII, Brad. Even worse on BSPM, buying the highs. That's not a strategy that we have. But I'm just kidding. What I'm showing you guys is that whatever you're thinking about, you can follow it and then constantly augment this list. Whatever you want to do, like once it starts to, you know, once these positions are not doing what you want to do, you can simply unselect them and they won't take up any more of your time and space. So I use this as an example when I do these presentations, but this is how many people are following this around. You see something and then you like it. Now to the AI. 3 AI channels are original, super sweet. Pissed off. Brad, why is she pissed off?
She's pissed off because she's got competition now.
She's pissed off because she's got competition and she's not taking it well. The Holy Grail, the beacon of investment insight. Okay, so this is the channel. There were 16 trades today in this channel. This is what they looked like in terms of percentages. And sometimes even when you make 66% correct, one bad trade in it, even when you do stop loss or whatever, can cause you to have issues. So look at these percentages. Just take a good look. By the way, we're back, Mortimer. It's not afraid to admit it made a, not even a mistake, but imagine you being able to change your mind where you got in here, didn't do much else, but then you short sold here. You know, that's something that
make no mistake, buddy. That there was no mistake there. That signaled an opportunity, and that thing ran up to 12 or 15, just ridiculous, right?
Well, we nailed it on the up move, and we're catching some on the down move, and that's the kind of flexibility that humans emotionally we don't have, because since we nurture children, Brad, if I may get metaphysical with this, since we nurture children, the way we emotionally get attached to things for survival's sakes is here, in stocks kind of plays against you. So
well, it does. Look at that intraday chart right there on GBR, right below that blue arrow, right when that signal, no, to the right, go to the one to the right, that intraday chart. Yeah. Look at when that signal called. Like, that thing was breaking out, it was running up, it was just one of these, types of setups that you're not intuitively going to want to step in there, but it's looking at all the data points, the footprints,
But Brad, in fact, I would say that the teachers, quote unquote, would have told you the opposite, most likely. Because to our eyes, we all want to buy it again at the perfect price, right? You caught the first wave, go and catch the second one. We get all emotional about it, but Holly, the AI, your guide, does not. Okay? That's why you want to be here. That's why you want to use this technology. This is the only kind of technology that exists like this on the good old planet Earth. Only one. No one else has this. Okay? And look at what you can do if you follow. Remember I said, Who gets to follow? Those that have more money, whether it's 100 shares a piece, whether it's $1,000 of. There's so many different ways to do it. You can go right from this screen, right click and trade on interactive brokerage. That's what people do. People go from here, they see the signal, it pops up, they take a look, no think, and either do or don't. Trust yourself.
So if I may, a little bit of kind of a peek insight into what we're testing right now, which is really providing a little bit more kind of Holly integration, if you will, into our Brokerage Plus, so that when you right-click on one of these AI signals, it's already going to be preloaded with the different data points that are specific to that strategy. So for instance, the on support or the Mighty Mouse or the Tailwind, all of these strategies have different hold times. They have different stops, different profit targets. So all of that's going to be embedded into that right-click execution, which is going to make it, you know, super easy to go from idea to execution. Eventually, we're going to have this so that you're going to be able to automate it all. A lot of great things. And I know that Vicky was asking earlier about the virtual all, being able to look at all of the different signals, and that's something that will be coming in the software, although I don't have an ETA for that.
No, we're totally working on that, and it's not just about the AI. We want you to be able to have potentially 6 channels up at once. No reason to not. Or combine the views. And we're gonna really create different views in different, I mean, of course, allow you to do it, but also channels. At the very top, I'm not gonna really get into it, but I'm gonna just click this bar right here. Notice that you can now, we're getting very close to giving you the ability to customize this channel bar, add the channels, edit them, do lots of cool stuff. It's not quite ready for prime time, but it's getting there, and we're going to be showcasing that as well. Brad, let's do. How are we on the Q? Are we on the Qs and the As?
Yeah, I think we're caught up. I'm kind of knocking down here, but I think we're caught up.
Okay, perfect. Well, then what I want to do real quick is I want to jump back to the presentation, because really there's one more final thing that I want to talk about, okay? So as I said, we started this by saying thank you. We are grateful. I can't say that enough. Trade Ideas came out of what we call the $50 million education. Myself, Brad, Scott, many of the people at the company did a venture capital deal in 2000 which ended up raising $50 million, and in essence, teaching every one of us exactly how not to run a business. Okay? We learned that, we took that without ever raising a dime. We created Trade Ideas from the ground up and had to be profitable from day one, and we grew it organically, we grew it slowly to what it is now, a machine. And now it is time to give back a little bit to people. Our plan is to go IPO December 22nd, 2020. Brad and I were just in New York visiting the New York Stock Exchange. We're talking to a lot of the exchanges. Depends on where we're going to be listed. Who knows? Everything is out in the open, but this is an IPO for the people, because we don't need to raise money for just money's sake. Okay, we're making money. We do well, and if anything, it's worse for us because there's more regulations. It means I have to keep my vape pen hidden more. But I digress. Here's what we're going to do for you guys, okay? Everybody who is a Trade Ideas subscriber at the time of our IPO will be eligible for shares. Those shares are going to be allocated based on length of time you have been a subscriber. In other words, the more you help us, the more we are going to help you. This goes to our affiliates as well. The more that you have helped us for helping spread the great word of Trade Ideas, the more we're going to help you with the shares. It's that simple, and we are not raising money from investment bankers. We're going directly to the public. We're doing it ourselves. We're doing it with the internet, and all the investment bankers and lawyers are there is just fiduciary duty, okay? So that's why this is a great opportunity for everybody to come on board with us. We never guarantee anything stupid like you're going to be driving a Ferrari, but we are telling you that we are the best. We are the best at taking control of your money, and that's a theme that you will have to be getting yourself all familiar with as time starts passing. There's going to be no more of this throw myself into the index. It's time for all of us to open our eyes and realize that we must have that power. Don't just hand it off to somebody else. I know right now everything is set up that way, and we are also, in our company, we do the 401k and all that kind of stuff. But the more that you are able to get control, the more you're going to give yourself access to that wealth 9 to 5 breaking capacity. On the indexes, you're never going to get wealthy. By yourself, you can get into RETA or even Facebook 10 years ago and have maybe written it and just get out and enjoy the ride. Or there's so many other stories, whether it's Qualcomm or Dell Computer or Amazon or anything else, or Priceline. Stock market creates wealth that you can get in and you can get out. Trial and error, nowhere else. Test drive is the link. For those that listen, myself, Jamie, and we have guests, even Brad's come on there. I can't believe we let him on there. We do a podcast, and this podcast kind of gives you the much more human take on trade ideas where, I mean, it's not like we're really formal anyways. This is where the partners get to really kind of flap their wings and not be confined by anything. It is this venue that we were breaking the Facebook story that that thing is going to get annihilated. We've talked about it for probably now 2 months. And of course, in that time, it has gone up, but at least we were making people aware to start thinking. And that's the whole point of the stock market. It's not just about, you know, putting your line in the sand and going, it's going down. It's about playing it in a way that you can do this and still exit, try it again, exit, try it again, and it might only work on the 3rd time, but my goodness, if it does work, look what can happen. That's the podcast. Please tune in. We would be grateful for that as well, and really good information. As I mentioned before, Sean McLaughlin, who talks about it's a bull market, but not for Facebook, is the author of a really good introductory book to investing, which kind of gives you a flavor of what people have to deal with. The post-BTFD market. Very important information because you want to be making money while the stock market goes down, not be stuck with everyone else in the bus. Okay? That's what we hope you do. trade-ideas.com/ebook. Let's see here. And I always do this. They sneak me into trying to buy it. We are a subscription-based service, and right now we want you to try it out for free. This is why you're in the test drive. It's $8.88 for the whole week. But when you get back to reality, this is how much our software costs per day, the premium AI version and the standard version. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw what we do. You saw GBR, you saw the percentages, and you know, we are a price of a, like, not a very expensive lunch. Talking about Subway, you know, Chick-fil-A, delicious. In-N-Out, I mean, I don't even know if you can get a drink with that In-N-Out. I'm gonna be hungry at In-N-Out, but this is our pricing. This is how we do it, and we're able to do this, guys, because we never raised any money. We have all the code ourselves. We did it all ourselves. We don't use any other people's stuff. U.S. made technology.
It's amazing what you can do when there's no debt.
There's no debt. No debt. Okay, so this is the last day to sign up for the test drive. Really hope that you do it. We have a extensive support curriculum schedule all throughout the week. I'm sure some of you have already been participating in all of that. Jamie, Steve, Andy, the whole team, and of course Barry, Scott, everybody. I can't name everybody. I'm going to be like an Oscars presentation. Thank you, everyone. We're easy to get a hold of, and we're always there. Consistency, systems-based approach. We execute what we say. You guys know it, and many of you who've already been here before, you guys know it too. And we try to take it with humor, whether it's, you know, Dukes of Hazzard, which, by the way, I think some of my best work, or predicting Facebook 2 months early. However you do it, guys, come over here. We are a good source of information and eye-opening in terms of the financial markets. Like us on Facebook, at Trade Ideas One on Twitter, and of course our corporate account is at Trade Ideas. Brad's always working for you, Scott and the team. Scott, anything I miss about the test drive? Maybe you can just give a shout out for the October event.
Yeah, anyone can go to TradeIdeasEvent.com. That's all one word. There's no hyphen. Just TradeIdeasEvent.com and check out the info. And we'll be blasting you with information in the coming months about it. Did you mute yourself again? Do I need to talk us way out on the rest of this? We have an ebook. A bunch of our guys.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Trade-ideas.com/ebook. Put your email address in to get that sent to your inbox. And there is also a code if you decide to sign up this month. It is, I believe, Fly in July, although you're not on that page. Yeah. Fly in July will get you 15% off your first month or year of Trade Ideas or any upgrade. And if you're ready to sign up, do that now, or just get into the test drive and then see what you think. Remember, it's TradeIdeas.com/test drive. And to check out the event, there's no slide for it, but TradeIdeasEvent.com. You'll be seeing a lot about that in the coming weeks, months, and stuff in the build-up. Thanks, everyone. Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.